Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk about this concept of being a highly sensitive person and how that relates to mind-body conditions. So I want to keep my glasses on because I've got some notes, pulled some things up off the internet. So a highly sensitive person is somebody who experiences the world with heightened awareness and sensitivity to both internal and external stimuli. Sound familiar? This heightened sensitivity means HSPs process information, emotions, and sensory input more deeply than others. While this trait can bring many strengths, it can also lead to feeling easily overwhelmed. So some of the strengths are strong empathy and compassion, deeper relationships, rich inner life, strong intuition. But some of the challenges, as people in the mind-body space well know, overstimulation, things like light, sound, smells, chaotic environments. We prefer calm and quiet. We have difficulty with criticism or even constructive feedback. We are aware of subtle changes in tone, facial expressions of others. We have a tendency to overthink. Sometimes we feel disassociated, different, or isolated, and we can be slow in making decisions. So when I asked Google what the causes of this were, first one, I don't necessarily buy it. It says genetic predisposition, maybe. Environment, absolutely. Early childhood experiences, lack of parental warmth, yes, yes, yes. And this really results in sensory processing sensitivity, feeling strong emotions, overstimulation, other people's moods affect me, sensitive to subtle stimuli, difficulty letting go of negative emotions, very conscientious, need more downtime to recharge. Music and art really move you, being overwhelmed, hate loud noises, change is extremely upsetting, feeling a need for downtime, sensitivity to light and sounds, already said that, depth of processing, sensitivity to caffeine and medications, emotional intensity, criticism sensitivity. You skip violent movies, crowds overwhelm you. You make decisions slowly. A little bit of repeat here. Get scared easily. Time pressures really rattle you. So those are some of the things that impact people who are deemed highly sensitive persons, right? And I believe we become that way through our life's experience. We have some trauma, we have some demanding parents, we have siblings, bullies, teachers, criticism that leads us to have some lower self-esteem. We become more sensitive, people-pleasing, do-gooders, perfectionists. These things are often linked up with people who are highly sensitive because being a do-gooder, a people-pleaser, perfectionist, high achiever is our safety strategy growing up in a less than ideal environment, a chaotic environment. So these things really tend to cause us to become more sensitive to things. Health anxiety, if you've got health anxious parents, or you've had a number of adverse health experiences throughout your life, it can cause us to become that much more sensitive and hyper aware of what's going on around us, but also what's going on in us. And we have this hyper vigilance on sensations in our bodies, to our thoughts, to our emotions. And so what do we do about this? How do we overcome this? I'm not sure we can overcome it completely, but I do believe we can improve things. Being a highly sensitive person, there are some benefits, but there are certainly some challenges. So what to do about it? Identify these sensitivities. Identify them. What are the things I am sensitive to? And then focus on creating safety around those sensitivities. Noise, light, social situations. We can convey safety in those environments by doing a lot of the things I talk about often. expect the best, respond the best, convey safety. I'm going to be okay. It's just a brighter environment in this department store. Or, yeah, I'm in a loud environment, but reminding ourselves continuously, confidently, loud noises are not harmful to me, right? Find some self-compassion and limit self-criticism. Because if we're already highly sensitive to criticism, the last thing we want to be doing is criticizing ourselves. Another thing we can do is set some boundaries. If there are some people or situations in our lives that are continually overwhelming, triggering, that we are sensitive to, there may be opportunities for adult conversations to make sure that that person knows that there's a line and not to cross it, right? Communicate your needs to others. Because oftentimes, if you're highly sensitive, you're always looking out for danger, don't want to offend people, don't want to say anything wrong. And so in some cases, that causes us not to communicate our needs, right? Some other things, nature, get outside, journaling, meditating, breath work, somatic work, trauma work if you've had significant trauma, whether it be EMDR or some other trauma processes. But overall, a highly sensitive person is just what I would call hypervigilant to most things. And the good news is, it's never too late to start to begin teaching ourselves that these things that we are so hypersensitive to are not truly dangerous, and we don't have to start or react or even have somatic symptoms like the perceived danger symptoms I talk about daily. So do you identify yourself as a highly sensitive person? If somebody's ever said, or many people have always said to you, you're too sensitive, lighten up. Why are you so sensitive? You may qualify as a highly sensitive person. Now, it's not a wonderful label to hang on yourself, but it can help you gain some understanding as to why are you so sensitive and maybe some things you can do about it. Why are you so sensitive? Early childhood experiences, right? Adverse childhood experiences, ACE. And it's not your fault. You're not too sensitive. You're as sensitive as you needed to be to get through your sometimes stressful, chaotic upbringing and even stressful, chaotic adulthood, right? Highly sensitive person still makes you wonderful, still makes you awesome. You might have more anxiety than somebody else, but you're still awesome. And most importantly, being a highly sensitive person, you can still get better. You can still get better from TMS, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms, from this mind-body syndrome. You can get better. And I can assure you that because working with as many people as I have through my coaching program, while they didn't self-identify and say, hi, my name is Susie and I'm a highly sensitive person, it's very clear in working with them and them explaining and describing their experiences that many of the people in my audience, perhaps you, are highly sensitive to stimuli, highly sensitive to thoughts, emotions, internal things, self-criticism, criticism from others, judgment from others, time pressures. You can still get better. And maybe with a little understanding of the fact that, well, maybe you are a highly sensitive person. That's okay. That's okay. You can still get better. And as I pointed out earlier, there are some strengths. Strong empathy and compassion. You probably make a really good friend, right? Build strong, deep relationships. You've got a rich inner life. You're often doing deep reflection on things. And you've got a strong intuition. So what we want to do is take that strong intuition, lean on it, but then qualify it, Because some people have an intuition like, I'm really sick. That's my intuition. And in many cases, many in the mind-body space especially, that intuition may be incorrect because, yes, there's something wrong, but we're not sick or broken. So I hope this helps. I was curious about this myself. People have asked me to talk about the, highly sensitive person and how that relates to this mind-body space. And it makes sense a lot that many of you are highly sensitive people, highly attuned to what's going on, maybe easily triggered, but it makes sense. Early childhood experiences can shape us that way. But it's never too late to teach yourself, I'm okay now. I'm an adult. Things are okay. These things that triggered me throughout my life, caused anxiety, fears, symptoms, they don't have to for the rest of your life. We can teach the brain to be less sensitive, less hypervigilant. What's the answer? One word: safety. And that seems to be the case with symptoms, pains, and this stuff too. So, hope this helps. Love you folks, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Love you.